Welcome, 8th grade students, to Career Cruising Segment 2. You're going to click on the text box underneath Potential Starts here and type in your username for Career Cruising. Do not forget to add the CCS- prefix or you won't be able to get in. You know how that works. Click on the text box for password, type in your password. Once you are into your program, on the left-hand side, click on My EDP underneath your name where I'm wiggling my mouse over here, My EDP. Again, on the left-hand side, click on My Activities and Experience. This is an area of career cruising that you can add any extracurricular activities, hobbies or interests, special skills that you have. This is where you can log it and you don't have to remember it once it's logged. I remember when I was filling out college applications, scholarship applications, employment applications, and I would have to pick my brain as to what were those things that I did when I was in junior high? What were those activities I did as a freshman in high school? And I know it doesn't seem like it'll be hard or difficult to remember these things, but once you're a senior in high school or you're graduated from high school, all of these little details are very difficult to remember. So this is a place that you can add this information and not have to remember it once it's added. So underneath My Activities and Experiences, click on Extracurricular Activities. Underneath Extracurricular Activities, click on Add an Activity. Okay. Now some of you are saying, Mrs. Miner, why are we even looking at this? Well, here's why. A lot of schools look at not just your academic record, but a lot of schools put a high priority on students who are invested and connected with their community outside of school, with school. They're doing something extra to make them value added, make them invested in their community. If you're not doing anything extra outside of school, schools are more likely to discount your application for scholarship or college or post-secondary training if you have nothing that invests you or connects you to your community. They want a person who is willing to do more than just what's required. Your academic record is required of you, but they want to see someone who's willing to go that extra step. Okay, so a lot of us have extracurricular activities that are affiliated with our school, and some of us have extracurricular activities that we do outside of school that are not affiliated with the school at all. So let's do one of each. So click on Add an Activity. Click on Category. I'm going to choose Sports. Click on Activity. I'm going to choose Bowling. I'm going to, underneath Please Select, click on the drop down. Start date. I'm going to say, and I do not know, I apologize to all bowlers. I do not know the exact month that bowling starts. I'm going to guess March. And I'm going to say last year I started my bowling. I started my extracurricular bowling, 2017. End date was June of 2017. And then I'm going to click on the text box for description, and I'm going to type in my average score. Average score is 150. So I'm an average bowler, and my average game is 150. A lot of times that's important to people when they're asking people to join their bowling team or they're looking at people to join. They look at someone's average score. Now, if you have received a certificate or something else from bowling, this is where you could attach a file. You click on Attach File. And then underneath your files, you would find the file that has your bowling certificate. You click on Open, and it attaches that file to your Career Cruising filing cabinet. Okay, I'm going to take it out because that's not actually a bowling certificate. And then I'm going to click on Save. Now remember, if you don't save it, it won't save to your EDP, and you won't show the appropriate level of progress completed when I look at your information. So please follow all these steps. Okay. So now as you scroll down, you're going to find where you added bowling. Down here under sports says bowling. My average game was 150 when I participated in bowling. Now, if there's something you want to add, you can click on the tiny little pencil and you can edit your information for bowling. Okay, so that's how you add an extracurricular sport. Let's add another activity. Click on Add an Activity. At the top, underneath Category, I'm going to click on General Interests. Under Activity, I'm going to click on, let's see, Travel. I've traveled with my family extensively, so I'm going to log my travel with my family. Underneath Start Date, I'm going to click on May. Year, I'm going to click on 1986. When I started. End date, I'm going to click on to the present because I do not intend to stop traveling anytime soon because I'm very interested in exploring new cultures and areas of the country. So underneath description, I'm going to type in a description on some of the places that I have traveled. I've traveled, I spelled it wrong, so I'm going to right click on it, get the correct spelling with the spell check. I have traveled to, I'll list some of the places I've traveled to. Utah, Washington, Oregon, New Mexico, Florida, and Ohio. I've traveled to Utah, Washington, Oregon, New Mexico, Florida, and Ohio. Now, if there are some more specific places within states that you've traveled to, for instance, if you traveled to Florida and you went to the Epcot Center, that is something that you could add here if you want to add some more specific information. If you want to attach a file, again, click on Attach File. This is something, if you're going to attach a file that needs to be done from a home computer, a home-based computer, unless you've sent things to yourself here at school, the file won't be here at school for you to access, so you would have to attach these files from your home computer. So you just click on Attach File, you choose your file from your list of choices, okay? And then click on Save. And there you have it. And if I scroll down, I will find general interest, travel, May 1986 to the present, and different places of the country that I've traveled. All right, so that's how you add those kinds of activities. You can log them, a date and time that you participated, and then you don't have to try to remember it, like I said, when the time comes for you to fill out all those applications. Okay, so our next step in segment 2 is going to be to how to add more careers to your list of careers. So over here at the top, click on Assessments. Underneath Matchmaker and My Skills, you'll see JH 2017. Click on JH 2017. This is your original list that was generated for you when you took the Matchmaker in segment 1. Now, one way you can add careers to your list that did not show up, this is just one way. So you can click on one of these on your list that you are interested in. I'm going to click on welder. Okay. Over here on the left-hand side, say you're saying to me, Mrs. Miner, I'm not really interested in welding, but I might be interested in something related to welding. So underneath welder, you'll click on related careers. and then it gives you a list of careers that are similar to welding, may involve some welding that you might be interested in participating in or investigating. So I'm going to click on sheet metal worker. Gives me a little bit of information over here about what it takes to become a sheet metal worker. Earnings, I'm going to click on earnings. I am interested in Michigan earnings for sheet metal worker. And over here in the middle, I can see if I want to view information for a different state on earnings. I'm going to click on the text box at the bottom of this page. And I'm thinking, maybe I want to live in Colorado and be a sheet metal worker. Okay. Then I'm going to scroll down and I'm going to see average wages for the state of Colorado. You can see they're a little bit lower than the state of Michigan. Okay. Over here, again, I'm going to scroll to the bottom. I'm going to change the state. I'm going to click on New Mexico. New Mexico wages are a little bit higher for an experienced sheet metal person, a little bit higher for an experienced worker in the state of New Mexico. Okay, so that's how you see and you change the information that you're looking at. Now, if you like what you see, you click on education and you think, yeah, that's something that I want to participate in, related college programs here. Click on that. It tells you where you can train after high school to become a sheet metal worker. You can see it's an associate's degree, which is 1 to 2 years after high school. It's a non-degree, it's a kind of a certificate program. Kellogg Community College in Battle Creek, which isn't too far from here. You can train to become a sheet metal person, or Macomb Community College, closer to Detroit, is another place in Michigan that you can train. Okay, so those are some choices. So if you like what you see for sheet metal, you're going to, over here on the right-hand side, you're going to click Save to My EDP. And that's how you save an additional career to your EDP, possibly a career that does not show up on your career list from Career Matchmaker. Okay, another way you can do it, click on Careers at the top. In the text box, type in the name of a career that didn't show up on your list that you say, hey, Mrs. Miner, I wish this had shown up on my list. So you would type in the name of a sample career. I'm going to type in holistic health. Okay, and under holistic health, I have naturopath. I'm going to click on naturopath, and I get some information on what it takes to become a naturopath. I'm going to click on related careers because I want to see something more than just naturopath. And under related careers, I have a whole bunch of choices. Click on kinesthesiologist. Oh, this looks very interesting. I'm going to look at some of the information on what it takes to be a kinesthesiologist. And I'm going to change the information I'm looking at so that I can see Idaho. And it does not change the information I'm looking at. So let's see if I can get new information on what it takes to be a kinesthesiologist somewhere else. Doesn't look like it's going to change the information for me from Michigan, but let me keep looking. Maybe. Where else could I look? Nope, it's just going to give me the information for Michigan, which is okay. I can always Google it, or I can use the Occupational Outlook handbook to find that information if I need to. So I like what I see for kinesthesiologists, so I'm going to click over here on the right, Save to My EDP. That's another way you can add a career that doesn't show up on your list. Again, this is how you access your list. Click on Assessments, click on JH 2017, find your list. Okay? Now, one other way that you can add a career to your list, this is just another example. Click on Careers at the top. Some of you are interested in military careers. So underneath Explore Careers, click on Military Careers. Underneath Military Careers, you're going to click on Service Branch. Click on U.S. Marine Corps. 109 results for some sample careers underneath U.S. Marine Corps. Okay, I'm going to click on Law Enforcement and Security Specialist. Gives me some information about what this entails. I'm going to click on Attributes and Training. Gives me a little idea of what I would be doing. I'm going to click on Civilian Careers that are related. Gives me some choices of civilian careers that are related to becoming a law enforcement and security specialist in the Marine Corps. I'm going to click on Crime Scene Investigator. Tells me what I would need to do to become a crime scene investigator. I like what I see. I save it to my EDP in the right-hand side. Okay, I'm going to go back to Law Enforcement Security Specialist underneath Marine Corps, and I'm going to save that to my EDP. Okay, so now if I'm going to find the list of careers that I've saved, I'm going to go underneath my name over here on the left, click on my EDP. Over here on the left-hand side, underneath my careers, next to the tiny little briefcase. Underneath my careers, I'll click on my saved careers, and I will find all of the careers that I have saved to my list. Okay, these are the careers that did not show up on my career matchmaker list. Okay, this will end our segment 2, career cruising.